guys, what is up? And welcome back to the channel. Now, we are actually in a different location. As you can see, we are not in the yard or in the shed today. We got a little something different for the channel. My cousin, he invited me down to his place for this weekend. And as y'all saw in the previous video, I was making that coolant overflow tank for him for his Cummins swap Jeep, which I told y'all a little bit about. And we will go into more detail in this video. In case y'all are curious, again, I'll put a link for his channel. Make sure to go check it out, guys. This Jeep is sweet. I am not a Jeep guy. I just don't like the, just not a Jeep guy. We won't get into the politics of it. Just personally, not for me. But he loves them. No hate. I love this Jeep. This is, as far as Jeeps go, probably the coolest Jeep I've ever seen and ever got the privilege to drive and ride in. But as you can see here, we did bring the prime weld TIG 225, all the accessories, some rods, because we are going to be doing some stuff along with that catch can going in the Jeep and the brackets. Some little things we'll go over, but this is the Jeep, guys. So it is pretty sweet. We've got it in the garage, so I can only get so far away from it right now, but he has got the Cummins under the hood, which what I'll do is, when he gets out here in a few minutes, I'll have him kind of go over what he's got done to it, and I'll let him tell y'all, and I won't ruin it for y'all, but it's got a Cummins. It's got an intercooler, so obviously it's got a turbo, which it's a Cummins. Just kind of put two and two together there, but it is, it's sweet rig, guys. He did wrap it. Now, the wrap is getting pretty worn, so he may redo it again at some point, but this is the interior in here. It's got couple glow shift gauges there, similar to what I'm running in the Dakota. It's got the detachable steering wheel. It is a manual. Again, I will let him go over all the details of that with y'all, but it's a pretty sick rig for being a Jeep. You know, don't tell him I said that, but it's extremely wide. As you can see, it completely sticks out beyond the fenders, but he did do these flush mount taillights, which I really like compared to the bulky square Jeep ones that you commonly see. But all that to say, we are going to be doing a few things on this, nothing super crazy, and so we are going to be putting a radiator in this, a new one. His old one developed a little bit of a leak, and welding some aluminum brackets on to hold the fan on the radiator. So we're going to be doing that, putting the coolant overflow tank in. I CNC cut some brackets off camera for him that are going to, like, where his alternator mounts, because he has a different style alternator than a Cummins alternator. He has a GM one wire. We are going to be putting these CNC cut brackets in place of some brackets he had quickly made when he was doing the swap. So a couple little things like that.
All right, guys, so we're going to do a quick rundown on what has taken place on my 94 YJ Jeep. So it is a 94 YJ stock frame, like everything is stock that way. Besides, we have beefed up a little bit the frame, but in the majority it's stock. We have a 24 valve Cummins right here with a HE351 turbo off of a 3rd gen, and then it is a 24 valve with the P pump conversion right here, and then intercooler, like a small intercooler right here. And that really helped with just power wise, a little cool air, because before it was going straight from the turbo. We have 1-ton axles from a 99 F350 truck, and then the transmission and transfer case. The transmission is a NV4500 and the transfer case is a MP241 DHD. And that's pretty much like the basics of this Jeep from there. So there's some custom stuff inside gauges wise, but other than that, it's pretty stock, besides the engine swap and axle swap.
All right, guys, so the first little thing I'm going to do while he's working on getting the radiator and stuff all unhooked over there is just this super basic bracket. I didn't CNC cut this out. This is just off some exhaust pipe he had laying around. And then we're going to kind of put it like basically right up in here, just so that way his dipstick isn't vibrating around like crazy. So we'll go ahead and weld this to the intercooler pipe. And we've got the welder set up over here, kind of crude, but it's ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and probably just weld the top on this so we don't have to take the whole intercooler pipe off. Its only job is to just hold the oil line. So get this thing on, and then he should have that radiator out here fairly soon. He's just trying to get most of the coolant so we can reuse it in the next one. So pop this guy on, and then hopefully start on that radiator setup. All right, so that guy's on. We were doing real good. I was able just to fusion weld it all the way till the end, and then I had my cousin Tanner. He was running the pedal, and we just didn't get to him in time to tell it to shut it down. And so we had a little blowout there, which we filled with some rod, but he's happy with it. And then we've just got to drill a hole in this guy, but it's not going anywhere. So considering all that it was done on the Jeep, we're happy with it. So okay, so we made a little temporary welding table here just because we've got a bunch of stuff going on in here. So we figured out where we want the coolant overflow tank. As you can see my mark there, I went ahead on this bracket I made, and it actually ended up working perfect. We're gonna bolt to the fender, and so I put just a, I don't know, maybe 20-something degree angle on it, and then it's gonna go just like this, lined up with the marks. Got it all welded, so turned out okay. Welding stainless to mild is not my specialty at all, but overall happy with it considering what we're working with here. I did do a few tacks underneath just to hold it, make sure it couldn't ever go that direction, but most of the flex is gonna be up on this top part. So I think it'll be plenty strong enough. Like I told Tanner, if we really had to, we could always easily come back and do a support here. He is going to get this, he's going to have this powder coated. He's going to do it, or we'll do it up at my shed at some point, because it's stainless, but then as y'all know, the tops and bottom in this bracket are just mild steel. So these guys are going to rust, and this is going to stay like this. So some point he's going to powder it, and if at that time we decide to do a little brace here, we can, but I think this is going to work fine. It's not got a lot of leverage on it. It's going to be really near the fender. So yeah, overall, I mean, for what it is, we'll take it, and we're going to go ahead and get that guy mounted up in there here shortly. And he just got the radiator out, so we're going to work on transitioning that fan over to that radiator, but with some actual brackets, which is going to be a little tricky because he has like this much space between the fan and then one of his front pulleys on the Cummins. So we will come up with something, I'm sure, though, that'll work, and hopefully he won't have to use any more of those ties that go through the radiator. That'll just continue to rub holes in it. So we'll see what we can figure out with that. So we got the fan on the radiator, which, as I mentioned earlier, that was really the biggest thing we were trying to do today. So we went ahead on this side and were able to bolt both the ears down just with a little spacer, just some washers stacked in between there, just to give it little bit of clearance. It's not touching, it does look like it, but you can see there's a couple thousandths under there, plenty of space. We couldn't bring this up any higher because of the pulley. It was sitting like right here, so this has to be super tight to the radiator. And then over here, we opted out of welding these on, and we ran a bolt through this side on each of these little brackets, just little pieces of aluminum, kind of 45, and then bolted here, here, and here as well. Again, you can see there is space under these. The bolt heads are not touching. There's more space than the camera is showing. There's probably almost a ½ inch of space under here. So I think that'll accomplish what he was trying to do, and hopefully that will not give him any more issues with it touching and leaking on the radiator itself. So just got to take that and get it back up, set into here. We got the overflow can made. It's going to mount over there. We just got to drill the holes in the fender. It's going to go kind of right over in this area. He went ahead and bolted this piece on, so now the dipstick tube is solid. All right, guys, so we are making really good headway, considering how the time we started actually working on this thing. But so I don't remember exactly now what I last showed y'all, but I showed y'all what we did with the radiator. So we got the radiator back in, and Tanner finished bolting it all in. So the bottom hose is just going to go back on the same way that it was originally. We are redoing a little bit of the upper radiator hose to the diameter of the upper radiator hose coming out of the radiator and then coming off the Cummins were a little different. So we're kind of resizing that, changing it up a little bit, as I'll show you right now. So right here, so I'm working on just trying to bring these two a little bit more in the same plane. So doing some rough pie cuts since I don't have a bandsaw here to kind of just try to get this guy over, and then we'll have just a little piece of, like, you know, 45-degree pipe that goes in between here. We got this guy fully bolted in. It's pretty strong. It's gonna vibrate a little bit, as you can see. So like I said before, I told Tanner if we need to add another brace to this, we totally can, but this is a start. I did go ahead, and I never even mentioned this because this kind of came up randomly, but I put just a little, just basic bracket on this rod here that holds the front end on for the slave cylinder here. So that's on super solid. It's not CNC cut. It's relatively crude. I just did it with a grinder, then TIG welded it on here. So that's done. The overflow tank is done, and the radiator, as you can obviously see, is back in. So this is kind of what I came up with for this neck here. A couple of pie cuts, again, they're kind of crude, and basically like that, and then this end piece will go on, and then we've got a little bit of like a 45 pipe that'll go in between the two. So that should work. So we're gonna go ahead and TIG weld this all up. So here it is. It's kind of got this, like Tanner said, it kind of looks like an elephant trunk, but this will get it pointing down a little bit and angled closer to the radiator. I just put a couple little like pimples on it, for lack of better words, just to keep the hose from sliding off. So you want to do the honors, T? It's a little toasty, so yeah, a little bit. So that is our last part, guys. He's got everything else buttoned up. While I've been fiddling with that, I ran into some nasty porosity issues on that pipe, but we were able to get it taken care of, and it fits, and it looks like it'll work. Yeah. In a perfect world, we maybe would have done a little bit more with the pie cuts, but just doing it with the grinder just made it real limited, so we're just going to rock with that, and we're going to throw coolant in this thing once we bolt that on and do the hose and take it for a little test spin, I think. So I'll try to get a little footage of that if I can. It's going to be dark out, but you can at least hear it and see. But it's a lot of fun. So hopefully everything's good to go. No leaks. Fingers crossed. Better not be, but don't know till you start it up.
If there are, he's fired.
Okay. Well, you heard it from him. If there are, I'm fired. So it's tough working for this guy for free. He's definitely buying me a monster tonight. Oh, he bought me lunch. All right, fair enough, fair enough. But no, it's been a lot of fun. We always love doing little projects together. So this was a pretty chill one, and right, relatively went pretty well. You think, T?
Yeah.
It just, we got a little bit of a late start to it. We were doing some stuff this morning, so we just finally got in here, and we're wrapping up now. So we'll get this on, coolant bled, and take it for a spin. All right, guys, so we got it all running, as you can obviously hear. We are just bleeding out the coolant now, getting the engine up to temperature. But everything is on, looking great. We love it, super happy. So we are gonna go take it down the road here in a few minutes. I'll probably try to get a little bit of footage, but bear with me. It's gonna be a little challenging since, you know, we're gonna be bouncing around and cruising down the road, but I'll try to get a couple shots. I was hoping to do it in the daytime, but unfortunately we just only had a limited time today, but we were able to get it all done. So he's super pumped. I'm glad I was able to help out a little bit. It was a nice change of scenery for me. I mean, I'm having a blast on my projects as well, but it's always nice to switch it up a little bit, and y'all will come to learn. If you don't already know, I'm an avid Cummins lover. I just love them. So it's fun to get my hands back on one, especially in a cool project like this, being a Jeep, not just a typical, you know, Cummins truck. So yeah, we're super pumped and gonna be taking it down the road here in a few minutes. All right, guys, so we're in the Jeep now. We're having a little issue just getting the thermostat to pull in, but we're hoping with driving it around a little bit, it'll hopefully get the air bubble out, and we brought some coolant with us. So there's, unfortunately, because it's so dark, not much to show now, but it's running great, no leaks or anything like that. So once we get this thermostat to open up, we should be home free. But yeah, hopefully at some point I'll be able to get some footage of this in the daytime, but it's all in all a successful day, and we were able to knock it all out.